Ceann Comhairle. The first thing I'd say, Minister, is I'm not going to criticise the way the plan was launched, because some of the criticism that has been levelled tonight at the government and how it was launched are, you know, if those people were in your position, they'd do the exact same thing, and that's just the reality of it. So I'm not going to play politics with that. What I want to get into is...
Sorry, we can't really hear you. Would you move a little?
Oh yeah, sorry. So the thing I want to get into is the actual plan and what the motion calls for, Minister. And to be honest, I think what the motion calls for is, you know, it's not something which any government should just turn their nose up at. I mean, nobody is asking for the plan to be completely stopped. From my reading of it anyway, I mean, Social Democrats are looking for three things, and I think they're very reasonable: to identify which plan for projects in the NDP will be delayed or cancelled as a lack of funding. I think that's a very reasonable thing to ask for, Minister, given where we are now 2 years into it, the number of cost overruns. You say, as the Minister for Finance, that those cost overruns will not impact on the National Development Plan, that you can cater for those cost overruns through revenue. And if that is the case, then it's your responsibility, Minister, to outline that and to show the House how you can achieve that. The second one is to recognise the declaration of the climate emergency by this House, and it goes on to say that that would require significant revision of the NPF and the NDP in order to deliver meaningful action on climate change. Again, I think any reasonable person would recognise, given where we are now, you know, on the back of the Climate Committee, the report that has been published, the declaration of the climate emergency, that it's prudent to revisit the NDP to make sure that we can meet targets. I know in your own speech, Minister, you outlined some of the things that you're going to do and the additional funding that's going to be put into it to make sure that we can meet some of our targets. But I don't see anything, you know, very wrong with asking us to just have a complete revision of the plan to make sure that it is, you know, that we can meet our targets and that we are energy efficient. And the final one is to revise the NDP and the MPF to properly reflect the current spending on listed projects and the impact on the 116 billion overall budget. Again, a very reasonable request, Minister. I mean, I think anyone would say, okay, we have a massive capital project here, capital programme, out to 2040. You know, and I can understand why the MPF goes out to 2017. We have to give you know, a bit of direction to the construction sector. We have to ensure that we can actually achieve all that. But there is no harm in revising things. And I don't know if there's built-in revision mechanisms, Minister, between now and 2040. I'm not 100% certain whether they are. But if there's not, I don't see anything wrong with actually pausing and revising the plan now to ensure that we can actually achieve what government set out to achieve. Because that's a very reasonable request, and it's for that reason we will be supporting the motion.